Hello everyone and welcome to Low Budget Otaku, and today I'm giving you my top 10 best KOs that I've reviewed so far. I've done the same for the regional figures and this time I'm looking at the KOs. So if you want to check out the first list of the best original figures that I've reviewed so far, click on the right upper corner annotation. But before I start the list, remember that KO figures always differ a bit from unit to unit, and well, they will always have defects and will never be as good as the originals. So let's start with some honorable mentions. So the first figure on our list is the PlayArt Sky Cyborg Ninja Grey Fox from Metal Gear Solid. This figure looks great, I gotta tell you that, but unfortunately I think the color palette is not exactly the same as the original, and it actually brought some parts that unfortunately broke as soon as I started to messing around with the figure. If you want more information, don't forget to check out the review. It's still a very good looking figure in your shelf, and I managed to fix most of the problems. Not a bad alternative if you didn't manage to get the original. Another one of our honorable mentions is the Bring Arts 2B KO. This figure is very close to the original. Most of the defects that I found, some of my viewers have told me that the original also has the same problems, because overall it is a very well done figure. The paint job is solid overall, and the figure is solid enough in terms of articulation, brings a lot of accessories, very decent KO. Our last honorable mention goes to the SH Figure Arts Thanos from the movie Avengers Infinity War. Now, SH Figure Arts KO normally are terrible, awful, especially the faces that look nothing like the original characters, but this one is the exception. This has the perfect likeness of the face to Thanos, and the joints overall are not the most solid, but they are solid enough. The faces did come with some smudges, but overall it's not a bad KO. Next we have the T800 from NECA. This KO is kind of a problem for me, because it is very good, looks amazing, it is very close to the original, but the difference in price really is not that worth it. So probably you'll be better served paying 30 euros by the original than 15 for this KO. But it is still a very decent replica that I should put it on the list. Next we have Figma Gilgamesh from Fate Grand Order. Now this figure looks almost exactly like the original, but it's not perfect. His legs especially are very loose, and the arms that he has with the armor, so not the ones that he has with the torso without the armor, are a bit loose too, but otherwise it looks very good. It's very well painted without much of the problems of painting that a lot of KOs have. Next we have Jen the Hark Altar from Figma, and this one, oh my god, the painting is very well done, and the figure itself is actually very solid, very close to the original, but the faces have some smudges. It's the only problem that I got with this KO, otherwise it was basically a perfect KO. And the lens is not the most solid, I would say, but otherwise it is a very close replica, and I was pleasantly surprised by it. Next up we have Figma Ram. This figure is so close in terms of solidness of the joints and overall feel of the figure to the original that it was really impressive. But the dress and some of the parts do have some paint smudges, and the smile on the face was not really painted right, but I managed to fix it. Next we have Figma Nero Claudius. This one was almost perfect. I gotta say, I was very impressed. The paint job is basically perfect. The only bad things I noticed was some extra plastic on the shield that I managed to remove, and the legs are a little bit wobbly, so not that solid on the legs. The Revoltech Wolverine. Now these Revoltech KOs are really good. I gotta say the Revoltech KOs normally manage to be better than Figma KOs. But the Batman one was terrible, but probably because I don't like the system of the original anyway. But this Wolverine one was so close to being like a perfect combination. It did bring joint that was stuck because of some extra paint, but after I removed the joint I managed to fix the problem, and after that it's just a very solid and good looking figure. I basically have nothing negative to say about it. I struggled where to put this guy, the PlayArt Sky Raiden, and I gotta say this figure is, in terms of pure looks, perfect. It looks exactly like the original. It's very hard to tell them apart. There's like a slight difference on the sword sheath where like one of the drawings in it is upside down in the KO, but otherwise it looks perfect. The solidness of the figure starts becoming a problem. The problem is mostly because of the feet and the high heels that the feet have. It makes it really hard to stand, but you can still pose this figure in amazing positions. The joints are very clicky, and it is probably one of the best PlayArt Sky KOs ever made. And let me tell you, PlayArt Sky are not easy to clone. This was a KO that I was very happy about because I did mention in my list of figures that I wanted to have re-releases that it was one of the Figmas that I really wanted, but they sold out very quickly and there was no signs of a re-release so far. When the KO came out, it did not disappoint. The figure is solid enough. It is not as solid as the original, but it is very solid and you can pose it relatively well. And there's no major paint defects. The only big difference I saw from the original was like a black circle on one of his chest plates. A strange difference, but that does not feel like a paint defect at all because it is drawn. Then we have Figma Caster, and gotta say I got this by request of one of my subscribers, and it is an amazing figure. It is very well painted. It does have some small defects on paint job, but that are basically visible. The figure is very solid. It just feels like a great figure. It doesn't look like a KO at all. I'm not that big of a fan of the Fate series, even though I have a lot of Fate figures, and I gotta say, from all of the Fate KOs, this is definitely the best one. And finally, the best KO that I ever reviewed is the Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy VII AC from PlayArt Sky, and this was actually my first review on this channel, and I gotta say still the best KO I've seen so far. It is so close to the original, it's very hard to tell the difference. It has differences, but if you don't see them side to side, you basically cannot tell. It lacks shading on some of the skin tone, but it is very solid. The weapons are very well done. It can handle the heavy burden of the weapons. The face is perfect, especially faces from PlayArt Sky KOs normally are horrible. This one is actually very good. I was impressed. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the list. If you want to see reviews for any of these figures, links will be down in the description below. I will do soon a video of the top 10 model kits I've built so far, and I'm probably going to receive next week a big box from Link Japan that I look forward to you guys seeing me unbox it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and hit that little bell icon, otherwise YouTube does not warn you when the new video is up. You got more amazing videos on the annotations above, on the description below, and at the end of this video.
See you next time.